Hey there, and welcome back to the athomedive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey. Today we're in the kitchen making a classic favorite for all ages, but we've spruced it up just a little bit to make it more approachable for everyone on the table. So, today what we're making is macaroni and cheese, but we're doing it our way with good cheeses. So, sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. So on the counter today we have a pretty simple list of ingredients. We have 1 stick of butter, or about 4 ounces. We have 1 pound of rotini pasta that's just sitting here. We have 4 tablespoons of AP flour, 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. We have 2 cups of milk. We have 8 ounces of grated smoked Gouda cheese. We're gonna add into that 4 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar. That's going to give it just a little bit of a punch. And once it's all back in the pan, what we're going to do is we're going to top it with this 1 cup of breadcrumbs. But let's get going. So to get going here, we have 1 large pot on the back eye here, and it's just got a little bit of salt in there. We're just going to put it on to boil. We've got this 1 stick of butter here that we're going to put over low heat and kind of get it melting. Alright, so our butter's nice and melted now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in the 4 tablespoons of AP flour and just kind of slowly whisk it together. Alright, so now that our flour is cooking in quite well, we're just going to go ahead and slowly add in the milk. What I'm trying to do is incorporate it all before I go ahead and add in the rest of the milk. We're going to go ahead and crank up the heat because now we want to get it all working together and get it up to temperature, because we have to let it come to a boil for about a total of 15 minutes to get the flour to cook out of it. Once all the milk's in, that's a fair time to go ahead and put in your salt and pepper. We're just going to let it keep coming together. See how around the edges it's starting to come up to a boil? It's a good sign. We want it to be nice and hot, and we're going to let it cook. Once the salt and pepper's in, we're going to let this come back to a simmer, and we're going to let it hang out for probably 8 to 10 minutes before we go any further with it. Alright guys, so we're still whisking here, and if you can tell around the edges, you can see it's starting to get a little bit thick, and you can see in here, you can see the lines behind the whisk, and that shows you that we're starting to thicken up quite a bit. Now that we're up here, we're basically going to go ahead and turn the heat back down, and we just want it to stay at this low temperature and cook, so that, as I mentioned, we can get a lot of the flour out, but we don't want it to cook too fast and lose too much moisture. So we'll come back to it in about 7 minutes. Alright, so while we're waiting, our water has came up to a boil, just as we expected. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in the pasta here, and it should be fully cooked in about 8 minutes, but we'll always check it just to make sure. And we'll give it a good stir to get started. And we'll be back to. But as you see, our sauce here is still going with that light simmer, because that's all we want. We don't need it cooking a lot of the moisture out. We want it cooking the flour out so that it's not tangy and like pasty in your mouth. So we'll come back and check on both of these things in just a few minutes. Alright guys, the pasta's almost done. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and add in about half the cheese. And we're going to get it in and wait till it gets nice and smooth, and then we'll come back and add the other half in here in just a couple of minutes. So now that it's nice and smooth again, you can see the cheese has continued to even thicken it up even further, which is really nice because we want it to be thick and rich. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and add in the rest of the cheese and give it a chance to get in there and get all cozy too. Alright guys, our pasta here is about al dente, and we're going to go ahead and strain it off because we want it to soak up a little bit more of the sauce that we're cooking it in, the cheese sauce. So keep in mind that you don't want it to be mushy, you want to cook it just a little under right now. So I'm going to strain it and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so obviously I've turned the heat off and the pasta is strained out now. You can see that the water is gone. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take the sauce and transfer it back into the other pot and give it a good stir. You can put it in a bowl if you'd like, but since we already have these two dirty, I think it just makes sense to go ahead and strain it. And we're going to go ahead and put this right into the oven. So here we go. And we're going to come back and check on it in 20 minutes. Alright guys, we just pulled it out of the oven here, and as you can see, it's still sizzling. It's really, really hot, and it's nice and toasty and brown on top. If you touch it, it's got like a nice firm crust to it to complement the soft richness of the mac and cheese. So, there it is guys. That's how you make macaroni and cheese. Hope you enjoy. Dig in. Let me know if you put anything in your mac and cheese, such as crispy rendered bacon or pieces of broccoli, things like that. Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.